South Korean battery manufacturer LG Energy Solution announced a landmark battery.
We're building our own battery cells. We think the most advanced cell in the world here at Giga Texas. And we think over time this will probably be the biggest cell factory in the world.
A new kind of battery has just emerged from behind Tesla's sealed lab doors in Austin, Texas. And it's nothing like what came before flashy launch. No press event, just a quiet breakthrough that's now sending shockwaves through the EV world. From the outside, it looks like any other battery pack. But inside, it's faster, safer, and more powerful than anyone thought possible. It doesn't just store energy, it delivers it instantly with no fade, no lag, and no overheating. Tesla hasn't just improved the battery, they've changed the game forever. For more than a decade, the electric car race revolved around one material, lithium. It powered everything from luxury sedans to budget EVs, and it was treated as the unquestioned heart of the industry. But lithium came with baggage. Every engineer knew its weaknesses: slow charging, gradual capacity loss, and the looming risk of thermal runaway when temperatures climbed too high. The best minds in the field worked to patch these flaws, including slightly faster chargers, more advanced cooling, and new cell designs. But the gains were always incremental. A few extra miles of range here, a couple of minutes shaved off charging there. It was progress, but it was slow. The conversation became a cycle of managing limitations rather than breaking past them. Even as headlines celebrated each improvement, the core problems never disappeared. Lithium was still expensive, still difficult to source, and still vulnerable to the politics of global supply chains. While the industry focused on squeezing more life out of the same old chemistry, Tesla quietly stepped away from the crowd. They weren't interested in winning the old game. They were preparing to end it entirely. Why keep fighting lithium's weaknesses when another path was right there untouched? Inside Tesla's Austin lab, a small team began experimenting with aluminum, a metal dismissed by battery researchers for decades. It was cheap, abundant, and incredibly conductive. But it had one fatal flaw: ion lock. Aluminum ions could hold energy, but they struggled to release it quickly enough for real-world use. For years, that was the wall no one could break through. But Tesla found a way. They developed a proprietary carbon-graphene substrate laced with atomic scale induction points. It didn't just allow aluminum ions to move, it let them fly. The moment it worked, everything changed. Suddenly, the limitations of lithium weren't a problem anymore. Tesla had unlocked a material that could move energy almost instantly without overheating, without degrading, and without the fragile supply chains that have haunted the EV industry from the start. The breakthrough wasn't just in the chemistry, it was in how the power was delivered. Tesla called it quantum burst control, or QBC. Instead of pushing energy out in a steady limited flow like traditional batteries, QBC shaped and released it in precise, high-speed pulses. The effect was instant torque with zero lag, as if the battery could read the driver's foot before it moved. Lab tests showed numbers that didn't seem real. 7,000 watts per kilogram, more than 5 times the output of Tesla's own 4680 lithium-ion cells. And the more the battery heated up, the better it performed. Where lithium cells risk meltdown past 40, aluminum ions hit their stride at 85 digs, delivering stable, repeatable power without cooling systems straining in the background. It was like going from a garden hose to a fire hydrant. The same energy, but unleashed with unstoppable force. For Tesla, that wasn't just progress. It was the start of a new era. Tesla didn't just slot this new battery into an existing car, they built an entirely new machine around it. Internally, the project was called Redwood. Publicly, It would become the Model 2, a compact EV with numbers that sounded like science fiction. A starting price under $16,000, a range of 550 miles on a single charge, and most unbelievable of all, a full recharge in 5 minutes. Early prototypes were tested in complete secrecy, disguised under plain black wraps, running laps on closed tracks. The journalists who got rare test rides didn't know what was under the hood, only that the car launched harder than anything in its class, hitting 0 to 60 in just over 3 seconds without a hint of fade, no overheating, no throttling, no cooling down messages. It just kept going. This wasn't Tesla playing catch-up. It was Tesla moving so far ahead, the rest of the industry couldn't even see where they'd gone. Aluminum, the overlooked element. For decades, aluminum was the punchline in battery research. Yes, it was light. Yes, it was everywhere. But in the lab, it was unstable, too reactive, and too slow at releasing stored energy. Most scientists wrote it off and moved on. Tesla didn't. They realized aluminum's flaws weren't a dead end. They were a challenge. By embedding the aluminum core in a crystalline structure modified with graphene-like layers, they turned weakness into strength. Instead of degrading with heat, the structure tightened, becoming more efficient the hotter it ran. In deserts, on racetracks, under heavy loads, the performance didn't fade. It climbed. And because aluminum is the third most abundant element on Earth, the supply chain problems that plague lithium and cobalt simply disappeared. No mining choke points, no geopolitical bargaining chips, just raw, scalable material ready to power millions of cars. It wasn't just better battery chemistry, it was a complete reset of the rules. For years, fast charging was the Achilles heel of EVs. Even the best lithium packs needed half an hour to get close to full, and that was on the most advanced chargers. Tesla's aluminum-ion battery tore that limit apart. In a closed-door demonstration for investors, engineers rolled out a plain black Model 2, plugged it into a standard supercharger, and started the clock. 5 minutes later, it was at 80% capacity. No exotic cables, no special infrastructure, just the new chemistry and a re-engineered charging interface built to handle the surge. Inside the cells, nano-ruptured pathways moved ions like liquid light, bypassing the resistance points that slow lithium down. Even more shocking, the battery barely warmed up during the process. No fans roaring, no coolant systems straining, just raw energy transfer, clean and repeatable. In that single moment, one of the biggest excuses people had for avoiding EVs vanished. Charging time was no longer a problem. It was barely even a pause. Most batteries start dying the day they're made. Every full charge and discharge shaves a little off their capacity until eventually they can't hold enough to be useful. Tesla's aluminum-ion battery flipped that reality on its head. Each cycle didn't wear it down, it strengthened it. The internal structure realigned itself under stress, like bone healing stronger after a fracture. In testing, even after 500,000 full cycles, the battery still delivered 100% of its original performance. That's more than a century of daily use without fading. And it wasn't just about longevity. Regenerative braking became almost absurdly efficient, capturing up to 98% of the energy normally lost in deceleration. In city driving, that meant an extra 20% range without touching a charger. Extreme heat, cold, high-speed launches, nothing shook it. The battery didn't just survive abuse, it thrived on it, turning every drive into proof that the old rules of battery life no longer applied. Tesla knew a breakthrough this big couldn't be bottlenecked by slow traditional production. That's why the first aluminum-ion hub was built in Giga, Mexico, a factory designed from the ground up for speed, efficiency, and scale. Gone was the water-heavy, slow coating process used in lithium plants. In its place, Tesla used a dry electrode method that cut production time in half and eliminated billions of gallons of water waste each year. From raw materials to finished battery packs, the process took less than 72 hours. But Giga Mexico was only the start. Tesla's plan was a swarm. dozens of smaller autonomous microfactories placed around the world, each producing up to 1 million packs annually. By spreading production globally, they broke the lithium supply chain's chokeholds and sidestepped geopolitical risks entirely. It wasn't just manufacturing, it was energy independence built, charged, and deployed on a scale no other automaker could match. The numbers are impressive, but the real story begins when you press the accelerator. Instant torque slams you back in your seat, not once, but every single time without fade. There's no hesitation, no lag, no waiting for power to build. It's there, ready, as if the car already knew what you were about to do. Traditional EVs throttle output to protect the battery. The aluminum-ion pack doesn't need to. You can launch it hard, lap after lap, climb steep grades with a trailer, or weave through city traffic. And the performance never drops. Tesla's AI-driven power management adjusts delivery in real time, matching your driving style and the road ahead. It feels less like controlling a machine and more like the machine is moving with you. Every turn, every surge of speed feels natural, effortless, as if the car itself wants to go faster. The arrival of Tesla's aluminum-ion battery isn't just another step forward. It's a leap that rewrites the rules for what an electric car can be and what energy itself can mean in our daily lives. Charging time, range, battery life, and cost. The 4 pillars that once held EVs back have all fallen at once. Now, the question isn't whether electric cars can replace gas. It's how quickly the rest of the world can catch up before they're left behind. Because the race is no longer about building a better car. It's about building the future, and Tesla is already there. Tesla's battery could mark the end of lithium, but is it the future or just hype? Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more big ideas. This is MindQuest.